Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, viewers and listeners. This is Chalk Talk, the podcast where we aspire to transcend the boundaries and conventional discourse by fostering an intellectual stimulating platform that intricately navigates the myriad facets of the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm your host, Alessandro, and joining me is my insightful co-host, JJ. How are you today, partner?
Hello everyone, I'm doing really great today, partner. I'm feeling really excited because this is our first episode. And I have been looking forward to this podcast for days. In today's episode, we will have three guests to share their mindful insights and discussions about different topics under gender bias in education. Speaking of podcast, our mission is to ignite a flame of critical thinking, empathy, and actionable insights among you, our audience. Today's episode is particularly special as we navigate the complexities of gender bias through the lens of Christian morality and the UN Sustainable Development Goal 5, gender equality. But before that, can you give a background of what our SDG is about for our mindful viewers and listeners, partner?
Gladly, partner. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals aims to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. This goal encompasses multiple dimensions, including ending discrimination and violence against women and girls, ensuring equal rights and opportunities across various sectors, promoting women's leadership and decision-making roles, improving access to education and healthcare, enhancing economic opportunities for women, challenging harmful gender stereotypes, and fostering global partnerships for gender equality. By addressing these aspects comprehensively, SDG 5 seeks to create a world where women and girls can fully participate in all areas of life, free from discrimination and with equal opportunities for personal and professional development. Achieving gender equality not only benefits women and girls individually, but also contributes to the overall well-being and prosperity of societies worldwide. It is a crucial step towards building a more inclusive and sustainable future for everyone.
That's right, partner. The importance of Sustainable Development Goal 5 lies in its ability to unlock the full potential of half of the world's population, leading to more innovative solutions, inclusive policies, and diverse perspective in decision-making processes. When women and girls have equal access to education, healthcare, economic opportunities, and leadership roles, societies experience enhanced social cohesion, economic growth, and overall well being. Furthermore, achieving gender equality contributes to breaking intergenerational cycles of poverty and inequality as empowered women invest in their families, communities, and future generations. Ultimately, the importance of SDG 5 extends beyond the realm of gender inequality. It is a cornerstone for achieving all the sustainable development goals by ensuring that no one is left behind and that everyone has equal opportunities to thrive. SDG 5 paves the way for more just, equitable, and sustainable world for a present and future generations.
Mhm. Now that we have given our mindful viewers and listeners a background of our SDG for today's episode, let's dive deeper into the topic that we are going to focus on, which is gender bias and or inequality in education.
Okay, so gender bias and inequality in education remains as a persistent and multifaceted challenge with far-reaching implications. At its core, this issue encompasses disparities in access to education opportunities, unequal treatment based on gender, and entrenched societal norms that limit the full potential of individuals. Girls and women often face barriers such as limited access to quality education, early marriage, gender-based violence, and discriminatory practices within educational institutions. These barriers not only hinder their academic and professional growth, but also perpetuate cycles of poverty and inequality.
That is right, partner. Gender bias in education extends beyond access and enrollment to the classroom environment itself. Biases in teaching materials, curriculum design, and pedagogical practices can reinforce stereotypes, discourage girls from pursuing certain fields of study like STEM, and limit their confidence and participation in class discussions. Similarly, boys face pressure to conform to traditional notions of masculinity, impacting their emotional well being and academic engagement.
Absolutely, partner. Addressing gender bias and inequality in education requires a comprehensive approach that involves policy interventions, curriculum reforms, teacher training on gender sensitive practices, and creating safe and inclusive learning environments. It also necessitates challenging societal norms and stereotypes that perpetuate gender inequality both within and outside educational institutions. When education system prioritize gender inequality, they not only empower individuals to reach their full potential but also contribute to building more equitable and inclusive societies. It's a collective effort that requires collaboration between governments, educational institutions, civil society organizations, and communities to create lasting change and ensure that every individual, regardless of gender, has equal opportunities to learn, grow, and succeed.
Now, to keep this discussion running, we will now be moving on to the most exciting part. Each guest will be given time to impart knowledge and perspective on gender bias and equality in education. These conversations will be facilitated by us, your hosts, ensuring that everyone can follow along and comprehend the context of the topics. Without further ado, let's now welcome our speakers, Aya Binaohan, Aika Alag, and Iza Balmada.
A good day to all viewers and listeners out there, and to you too, JJ and Elsa.
Hello everyone, it's an honor to be here as a guest speaker for the first episode of the Chalk Talk. I'm really grateful to be given this opportunity.
Hello everyone.
A good day to you too, Aya, Aika, and Iza. It's really great to have you all here. So, as we all know, gender bias and inequality in education are global issues that disproportionately affect the people, specifically women, from barriers to access to biased teaching practices. These problems hinder academic success and perpetuate societal inequalities. What are your thoughts on this widespread issue?
Certainly, JJ. As we all know, the global landscape of gender bias and inequality in education presents a complex and persistent challenge that transcends borders. Despite notable progress, there's still much ground to cover before achieving fairness and equality in education. The disparities are stark, particularly in regions where systemic barriers hinder girls' access to quality education, rooted in cultural norms, societal expectations, and economic limitations. The influence of traditional gender roles and biases extends into educational practices, shaping curriculum and pedagogy. This bias not only limits diverse perspectives but also perpetuates gendered norms, leading to disparities in academic performance and opportunities. Moreover, the issue of gender-based violence within educational settings remains a significant concern, and especially for women, impacting their safety and educational pursuits. Collaborative efforts have been made globally, yet sustained commitment and targeted strategies are needed to dismantle systemic biases and create inclusive environments that empower all individuals to excel academically and contribute meaningfully to society. Through the lens of historical subject, by scrutinizing historical narratives and highlighting the often overlooked contributions of women and diverse gender identities, educational institutions can challenge ingrained biases and provide a more comprehensive understanding of human history.
I would also like to add that it's important to recognize that addressing gender bias and inequality in education is not just about access to schools and classrooms. It's also about transforming the very fabric of our educational system to be more inclusive and positive attitudes, challenging stereotypes, and creating learning environments that celebrate diversity and encourage critical thinking and creativity among students.
I absolutely agree with Aika here. Another crucial aspect to consider is the role of educators in challenging gender bias and promoting inclusivity in the classroom. Educators play a pivotal role in shaping students' perceptions and attitudes towards gender roles and stereotypes. By fostering open discussions, promoting empathy, and modeling respectful behavior, educators can create a safe and supportive learning environment where all students feel valued and empowered to express themselves authentically. Furthermore, integrating diverse perspectives and experiences into the curriculum is essential to promote a more comprehensive understanding of gender issues. This includes highlighting contributions and achievements of individuals from diverse backgrounds, challenging historical narratives that perpetuate stereotypes, and encouraging critical thinking about societal norms and expectations. Additionally, providing professional development and training opportunities for educators on topics related to gender equality, unconscious bias, and inclusive teaching practices is crucial. This equips educators with the tools and knowledge to create inclusive lesson plans, address sensitive topics effectively, and support students of all genders in their academic journey. So ultimately, the collective efforts of educators, policymakers, and communities are essential in creating a more equitable and inclusive educational system that empowers all individuals and allows themselves to thrive and succeed.
Now, apart from recognizing the widespread challenge of gender bias and inequality in education on the global scale, it is evident that this issue is particularly prevalent in the Philippines. The barriers faced by girls and women in accessing quality education, the influence of cultural norms and societal expectations, and the impact of economic disparities all contribute to the significant gender gap in educational opportunities. With this in mind, what are your thoughts on the specific strategies or initiatives that could be implemented to address gender bias and inequality in education within the Philippine context, Isa?
As I said earlier, I believe that a key initiative to combat gender bias and inequality in Philippine education is to promote gender-sensitive teaching methodologies and materials. Educators should receive training on how to create inclusive learning environments that challenge stereotypes and promote diversity. Furthermore, implementing policies that ensure equal opportunities for girls and boys in terms of curriculum choices, extracurricular activities, and leadership roles within schools can contribute to breaking down barriers and fostering a more equitable educational system.
Apart from that, one crucial strategy to address gender bias and inequality in Philippines education is to strengthen partnership between schools, communities, and local organizations, engaging parents, community leaders, and civil society groups in discussions and initiatives focused on gender equality can create a supportive network that reinforces positive attitudes and practices. Moreover, advocating for policy reforms that prioritize gender equality in education funding, teachers training, and curriculum development is essential to creating lasting change that ensuring that all students have equal opportunities to succeed. So, through the lens of the being fundamentally equal, the uniquely original, this principle calls for the acknowledgement and affirmation of every individual's inherent worth and dignity, irrespective of their gender identity.
In addition to the insightful points raised by my fellow speakers here, Aika and Isa, I believe that leveraging technology can also be a transformative strategy to address gender bias and inequality in Philippine education. Implementing digital literacy programs and providing access to educational resources through digital platforms can bridge gaps in learning opportunities, especially for marginalized communities. By embracing technology, we can also create innovative learning environments that cater to diverse learning styles and promote inclusive education. Additionally, utilizing data analytics to monitor and address disparities in educational outcomes based on gender can inform targeted intervention and policy adjustments to ensure equitable access and support for all students.
Yes. In exploring the Philippine landscape of gender bias and inequality in education, it becomes apparent that Mindanao, our region, grapples with barriers rooted in cultural norms, socio-economic factors, and systemic inequalities, which disproportionately affect girls and women. These barriers manifest in limited educational opportunities, restricted access to resources, and entrenched gender stereotypes that perpetuate inequality in learning environments. Given these complexities, how can we ensure that the voices and experiences of marginalized communities in Mindanao are centered in efforts to address gender bias and inequality in education?
One crucial step is to prioritize community engagement and policymaking and program development by actively involving representatives from marginalized communities in
Apart from what Aika here has mentioned, another key strategy is to invest in capacity building initiatives and leadership development programs for individuals from marginalized communities in Mindanao. By equipping community members with the necessary knowledge, skills, and resources, we empower them to advocate for their rights, challenge discriminatory practices, and actively participate in shaping educational policies and practices. Building strong networks and support systems within these communities strengthens their collective voice and influence in driving positive change in the education sector.
To add to that, Aya, fostering partnerships and collaborations between local organizations, civil society groups, and educational institutions is essential. These, these partnerships can facilitate the co-creation of initiatives that address the specific needs and priorities of marginalized communities, leveraging collective expertise and resources for impactful interventions. By fostering dialogue, sharing best practices, and pooling resources, we can amplify the voices of marginalized communities and catalyze meaningful progress towards greater gender equality and inclusivity in education in Mindanao. Looking at it through the concept of authentic human freedom, it advocates for creating a space where individuals can express their gender identities freely without fear of discrimination.
Alright, thank you so much to our esteemed guest speakers, Aya, Aika, and Isa, for sharing your invaluable insights and perspectives on this critical issue. Your contributions have shed light on meaningful strategies and approaches to centering the voices and experiences of marginalized communities in efforts to address gender bias and inequality in education. Your dedication to this cause are truly commendable, and we look forward to continued collaboration in advancing gender equality in education.
All right. As we are nearing the end of the first episode of the Chalk Talk, let us all ponder on this statement. In each decision, we hold the power to shape not only our individual destinies, but the collective resilience and vitality of the world we share. As we contemplate the vast tapestry of gender equality in education, let us be mindful architects of our choices, weaving threads of compassion, understanding, and conscious action.
As we draw curtains on this thought-provoking exploration on gender bias and inequality in education, let us carry forward our perspectives gained from our discussions. From the profound interconnectedness explored through Christian morality values to intricate challenge posed by gender inequality in education, we've delved into the complex fabric of our shared humanity. The overarching message resonates with a call to action, an imperative challenge to stereotypes, promote equality, and empower individuals to create more equitable educational landscapes. Thank you to our speakers for their valuable insights, and let us continue our collective commitment to building a society where everyone has equal access to education.
Let us all ponder on this Bible verse. Galatians, Galatians chapter 3 verse 28, which states, "There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female. For you are all one in Christ Jesus." This verse encapsulates the essence of equality, urging us to transcend societal divisions and embrace each other as equals, regardless of gender or any other distinction. It serves as a powerful reminder of our shared humanity and the importance of creating equitable spaces in education and beyond. We extend our deepest gratitude to our insightful speakers and to you, our viewers and listeners. Remember, the journey toward equality is ongoing, and it begins with each and one of us. Until our paths converge again, stay mindful and stay well. Thank you.
The Chalk Talk,
Bridging minds.
building tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone.
For tuning in this episode, and we'd like to see you on our next episode.